Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, like a motherfucking smack addict. And as you can tell by today's thumbnail, the king of Miami. In a menudo style in direct fashion, man, we're going to get straight into it and what exactly that thumbnail means. As you see, Jorge Masvidal, right? Of course, today is Saturday. Yes, indeed, I wrote graffiti on the bus, unless you're on planet whatever you are. And then it's Sunday or Monday, and I can't call it like an alcoholic. It already happened. It's too late. Tell me who won. The buzzing, cousin, the word on the curb is what's happening tonight. There's a UFC fight, and it's not necessarily like your average everyday UFC fight, okay? This is a grudge match. This is some real, they're going to get mad. They're going to get off where they're mad at. Real talk. Word on the curb is these two individuals hate each other. Or do they? That's what we're going to talk about right here on Gunners Collective. Indubitably, man, we're going to get into it and see if the beef is real. If there's real beef. Bang, bang. You never know when does one. So I watched both these individuals, Covington as well as Jorge Masvidal. Now, we all know, man, Jorge Masvidal has the quickest knockout in UFC history, 5 seconds. He put Ben Askren's chin, this chin right here, way over there, and his fucking nose over there with one kick, or one knee. It happens. Okay, it happens. And this guy having a long, extensive career, that blew him up from the feet up to the rooter to the tutor, man, to the ceiling up. He was up, right? He was way up. People were watching him. Of course, he went for the BMF title with Nate Diaz, and we all know how that transpired, how that happened. So I was like, what are 209 stand up? But it happened. It took place. And Jorge Masvidal defended that. Now, there's been some bumps in the roads along the way. And of course, shit goes like that. You know, in the UFC, there's ups and there's downs. You know, speaking of ups and downs, you know, right now, my boy, Cain Velasquez is on a way down. You know, he's on a way down, but he's going back on up, man. Shouts, prayers, and respects to that one Cain Velasquez, man. Free Cain. You already know where the Gun Collective stands when it comes to that situation. We've spoke on that. Now, is it real beef between Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal? I'm going to be sitting right there watching the fight. Tonight, yes, indubitably, indeedy, I'm going to watch it, okay? And a lot of people are wondering if it's real or not. If, you know, in the fight game, in boxing, in wrestling, and whatever it may be, there's a lot of hype that goes into these fights. It's to sell pay-per-views. It's to sell people at the gate. It's to make money. But at the end of the day, they're trying to get that bolsita. They're trying to get that bag so that way they can buy thick-ass gold chains and they can be living. Okay? But sometimes shit gets real. You know, backstage, we're not privy to see what happens. And shit goes down. You know, and as the story goes with these two individuals, man, they were actually good friends. Training out of ATT down there in Florida, Miami, Florida, America's top team. You know, Jorge Masvidal had already been in the game for several years when Colby Covington, as a youngster fresh from Springfield, Oregon, popped in the scene and was a good All-American wrestler, a grappler. He came in and said, "Hey, watch out. I know how to do my shit like Conor McGregor," right? And of course, Jorge Masvidal took him under his wing and laced him up. Embraced him, showed him canalismo, and laced him. Okay, and that happens in life. You know, you just take to someone. Maybe they had the same type of attitude, the I don't give a fuck attitude. They were both starving. They were both hungry. They were both thirsty in the game. And they gravitated towards each other and they trained together and they became good, fast friends. Happens. I've had friends like that too. Nowadays, you know what I mean? I want to knock the taste out their mouth. Dr. Dre shit. But it is what it is. So they end up becoming friends as the story goes. And somewhere along the line, they have a falling out. They have a falling out over some money that's owed to a coach. Says one side, the other side says, "Charlie, that never happened." Whatever the case may be, when two stars are rising, man, and one feels that the other one's getting a little bit brighter than the others, there starts to become envy and hate. You know, a hatred, that a burning desire to overcome that motherfucker. You know what I mean? He's a hurdle in your race, you know, and you're just trying to win. Everyone's in a race, man, and everyone can't stand to be second place. There is no second place. You know, there's first place, and that's that. And certain individuals feel a certain way. So when you had Masvidal blowing up, Kobe was in the back like, fuck that fool, right? And vice versa. You know, everyone has their time to shine. So now it's come to this. It's come to a lot of bitter words being spoken. It's come to a lot of disrespect. Now, okay, I'm not one for disrespect. I've just never liked it, you know. Get off where you're mad at, man. Stop talking all that fucking cagada, that mierda coming out of your mouth. And just get off, bro. If you're really feeling some type of way and you're really, really serious about that, just fight or don't. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with don't either. It's just either or, man. There is no in between. There's no time for all this, man. That shit right there, frivolous words and hot air coming out your mouth, homie. This ain't no hot air balloon. I ain't trying to see Seattle or trying to see Frisco or trying to see LA. So let's get fuck hot air balloons. I'm right here, okay? And in that fashion. But trip. So there's a lot of back and forth, okay? And where I draw the line and where I tend to go more towards Masvidal's side is two things. One, raza, stand up. You already know I'm going to rock with my brown people. Not because I believe that he's any better than Colby Covington. Not because I believe he's going to knock him and put him on his pockets. But because I rock with my people first and foremost. No, go, that's racist. Charlie, it ain't racist, man. I just got pride and I got love for my gente. And I hope he doesn't get his jaw put in the back of his fucking dome. But if it does, you know what I mean? So that's gay. I rocked with him. Two, I don't like the way Colby Covington is disrespecting his familia. See, Colby Covington's taking it an extra step to sell this pay-per-view. He's disrespecting this man's ex-wife, his children, talking about child support and beep, boop, boop, boop. Oh, if I don't know about that, who doesn't, right? Getting disrespected and getting family drug into the mix. I don't get down like that. I don't think real men get down like that. Say whatever you want about me. Sasuke, your teeth are yellow. I know. Just because you're an old lady. She was yellow, right? Hey, Sasuke, you haven't shaved in a week. your bitch forgot to buy me razors. Sasuke, you know, there's always a get back. You know, we can always come back and forth with it and just playing and capping. But when it comes to talking about legitimate wives and family things, especially when they live together, man, and they know each other's families, that's a hit below the belt. Sasuke, watch out. Don't hit the balls, right? That's a hit below the belt. And that's where Colby Covington is taking it. Now, Colby Covington was on the cusp of getting cut from the UFC. So is the word, or so the story goes. And he reinvented himself to this aggressive, conservative type person. I don't like to get into politics, but you know what I'm saying, man. He put a cold spin on it, jumped on fucking the ex-president's coattails and ran with it so that he could be the villain, the heel. You know what I mean? Because guess what? If you could play a good heel, if you could play a good villain, you're always going to get more shine than the hero. That's the facts. That's the truth in the fight game. If you can get the whole crowd booing you, you won. You did it. They want to see you get beat up, so they're going to pay to see that happen. Sasuke, and bang, bang. I ain't going to lie. When a motherfucker got skills like Colby Covington, because he got them skills to pay the bills. His stamina is by far up to par. And yes, this man has, he has cardio, you know. He ain't no punk. His wrestling skills are up to par, and his striking is becoming fucking vicious. So when people want to see this guy get beat up, and then he turns it on him, the old Chicano U-turn, it makes him even madder. So they come back for more. And Sasuke, the Orcita gets bigger and bigger and bigger. He knows what he's doing. Okay, so he latched onto that train and he's riding it. He's rocking it. That ain't his true self, man. He ain't really like that. This dude's a humble guy from Springfield, Oregon up there, man, fishing and Sasuke hunting deer. This about ain't all about that. But now he's proclaiming himself the king, bang, bang, of Miami. Let me tell you about Miami. Because this is when it gets icky, sticky, beautiful cover girl. This is when it gets a little different. Okay, Miami, traditionally, everyone knows Miami for the club scene, for the partying. But is that the real Miami? Charlie, right? Really, in the back streets of Miami, there's some motherfucking Haitians and some Dominicans and some Puerto Ricans and some motherfucking Mexicanos that are out there wiggling, right? And believe me, the wiggle was real. Them streets of Miami are as dangerous as any streets in America, if not more dangerous, okay? Shit happens in Miami. And I'm going to tell you a story about Miami that kind of correlates into what's going on tonight. I had a homeboy from my town, from my city. His kids are actually very, very well known from the city now, from the town, from my hood. One of them, so I don't really want to speak their name, but their father actually had some business dealings in Miami. You know, I'm not going to tell you what kind of business he was involved in. Okay, yeah, the wind's blowing that way, so that's where he went, to Miami. And he was murdered the day he got there, okay? And his wife, because I've talked to his wife, she's good people, she told me, I told him not to go. I had a bad feeling. Every time he went to Miami, it was something popped off. It's very dangerous there. And the last time he went, he never came on back, okay? He never got to taste that carne asada his wife was cooking whenever he got, no more tortillas. Game over. Do, 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 boop, boop. Done, Mario, right? Or Luigi. It was over. And it was a cold game. I remember, man, it impacted us because we were like, wow, that was one of the homeboys. Like, we didn't see that one coming. He wasn't out in the streets like that. He was doing his little thing from the cuts. But he went out to Miami, and Miami's dangerous. So when you're proclaiming yourself the king of Miami, come on, Rick Ross. You know, stop it, correction officers. That shit don't work. You're not the king of nada. What you are is training and fighting out of Miami. Now, who has more claim to that throne? I'm going to tell you who has more claim. That'd be Jorge Masvidal. He grew up, born and raised on the hard streets of Miami. Came up in the backyard brawls fighting with Kimbo Slice. Doing his thing, man. I think he's earned his way. If anyone should be fighting for the pride of that city, if anyone should be fighting for be the son or the key to that city, should be that man. Not some motherfucker from all the way in Springfield, Oregon, man, hunting elk and fucking deer meat. And I learned how to box there, so that's why I'm king of Miami. Dade County. Check it out, Bible Soul. You ain't none of that, nothing close, right? And I'm not going to sit here as a Kobe hater because I know I'm supposed to be unbiased when I'm out there speaking, but I'm not. I'm totally going for Jorge Masvidal. That's who I'm siding with. So the question to you is, who you rocking with, man, for this King of Miami? Because that's basically what they're calling it. The BMF belt, the baddest motherfucker on the planet belt, is not on the line because according to Jorge Masvidal, that dude isn't one of the baddest motherfuckers on the planet. So he doesn't get that action like Nate Diaz got that action or that smoke. But Kobe feels a different way. He feels he's the best pound for pound. We all know Kamaru Usman knocked him out, put him on his pockets. He also put Jorge Masvidal on his pockets. You know, he likes to put guys on their pockets. Orale, Guess jeans. You know what it is, silver tabs. Miller's Outpost. It be like that sometimes. But at the end of the day, when the day ends, who are you going for tonight? That's the question that I'm posing. Are you rolling with Jorge Masvidal, the fastest knockout in UFC history? You know what I mean? The motherfucking Cuban Jesus. You know, the motherfucker that's out there, the street prophet, the one that's out there in the streets putting people on their pockets? Or are you going for Kobe Covington, the clean, pretty boy ass, I'll take your bitch type motherfucker, right? Who's really aggressively coming up in the game? The choice is yours at the end of the day. Everyone has their own opinion. It can all come down to technical skills. We know that Masvidal is the striker. We know that Kobe Covington's he's on that mat. But Sasuke, you know what they say about being on mat status? You can get put on your back in mat stuff. Sasuke, America's Tap Team. You know, it could be whatever it is. At the end of the day, I'm gonna watch. I hope that you guys watch. I hope you guys tune in. If for no other reason than to support, what's going on now. I've also heard this, and here's some breaking news from. I have a homeboy that actually is within the UFC, and he got at me, and he told me that according to some of the fighters that are involved in this actual pay-per-view, they're actually going to put a portion of their salary to the side, to help the defense of Cain Velasquez. Bang bang. This is what I've heard, and I hope it happens, man. I'm a full supporter of Free Cain. When it comes to a big UFC event like that, one can only sit back and think about him. You know, what he's going through, the struggles, the trials, the tribulations, everything that's going through his mind. You got to understand, this is not a man who was in and out of prison or even probably in county jail like that. And me having half of my life spent in prisons and jails, man, I know exactly what he's going through. I could identify, you know, if for no other reason than such. I know he's hungry right now. I hope he gets big canteen because I know what time it is. And it's a sad situation, you know, everything emotionally he went through and everything he continues to go through because of what happened to a child in his family, man. We could never forget that. And if these people decide to give a portion of their salary for the defense of Cain Velasquez, man, that's a great thing. That is a great thing, you know. I myself, I'm on the forefront here on YouTube in pushing free Cain. You know, we're all about that here. You know, we're all about the positivity. We're all about that push. At the end of the day, it's one of ours. It's a Mexicano, a Chicano. It's people in general, you know, a good-hearted, good man who I believe was justified and did what he did. Now, of course, according to the law of the land, it was what it was. But according to the Bang Bang streets, he handled his motherfucking bizwax. And that's what it is. Anyway, so who do you got tonight, man? Please support the UFC. Please support this pay-per-view. Please support Jorge Masvidal. Nah, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter who you like at the end of the day, man. To each their own. I just know who I'm rocking with. I know, is it real beef or is it fake beef? That's the question people have been asking. And I can tell you, I think it's real. I think it's real, man. I've been involved in some altercations with people, and people have talked this and that. And you know when it's all business, or you know when they could really care less, man. They're just trying to make it hard for this individual. I believe this is real. I believe they're not putting out the total story of why they're tripping. Something happened. Maybe Kobe boned his old lady. Can't call it like an alcoholic. Usually that's what leads to it. It's usually women or money. In this case, it's probably money. One's mad because the other one's having a little bit more pocket change than the other one. And, you know, one's shining and the other one's not. To which one, man, that's up to you to debate and figure that one out. I believe they're both having more paper than I got. So I guarantee it's a lot more. And at the end of the day, that's how I'm going to rock. Anyways, whatever you choose to decide, if you think it's real beef, if it's not, that's the question I pose to you. Leave a comment. Talk about it, you know. Sounds good. Sometimes UFC is the most diabolical fucking organization in the world. They're smart. So sell this fight. I don't care if you gotta have to, you know, hit them in the balls. Sounds good. Do whatever you gotta do. Whatever we can do to make the maximum amount of money. And in this case, go ahead and sell that, man. Make the maximum amount of money so you can shoot a little back to my boy Kang one time for his mentality and for his case. You know, he needs that. Other than that, You know, I'm just going to sit back like any other fan, man, of a sport that I enjoy, a gladiator sport, a real life thing, and I'm going to watch it with the best of them. And I'm going to appreciate just having the freedom and the liberties in life and the breath in my lungs, man, to sit there and yell out, beat that motherfucker's ass, right? Bang, bang. And the winner is. Anyways, with that being said, man, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that you get out there and you get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, man, it's all about being around familia, which I will be today, and showing love, expressing, man, support, and being there for one another, man. You don't want to be caught up in a situation like Cain Velasquez, man, who he's caught up in, you know, it's just bad things happen to good people sometimes, you know, but it's how you overcome, how you dust yourself off and try again, bang, bang. Anyways, with that, I hope that you like and support this channel. If you don't, you can hit it with that thumbs down. It's okay. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to rock and bring the best content I possibly can to Gunners Collective. And you know what it is. We about the business over here. We doing what we do because we do what we does. Bang, bang. I got Masvidal. And in that fashion.